Welcome back, everyone. So today we're going to take a look at this. Now, this is a wiring kit used to help upgrade our Jeep Wrangler headlights, and that's what we're going to do today. We're not going to replace the headlights themselves. We're simply going to see, does a wiring harness upgrade actually help with the poor headlighting on the Jeep Wrangler? Let's take a look real quick, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so most Wrangler and Cherokee owners know that their headlights are terrible, and there have been some reviews of this exact kit for Cherokees, but I want to see how it works for a Wrangler, and that's why we're doing this. Now, the kit costs $25, and we'll take a look at that kit in just a second here, but really what I wanted to do is explain why we're doing this. One, more light is better. I live more northern now than I used to, so we hit snow and rain, we get weather that I didn't really used to get in where I used to live, and because of that I need better headlights. There are very poor headlight system in the Wranglers and the Cherokees. They don't cut it. The reason for that, what people say, and everything I can dig up online, is that the wiring for the headlight in the Cherokee and the Wrangler, they don't use a traditional relay system. They don't pull power directly from the battery. What it does is the wiring goes from the battery to the switch in your cab, and then from the switch in your cab to the headlights, and so that switch inside your cab is handling the full voltage and amperage of the headlights. Now the switch is designed to do this, so you're not going to burn the switch out or anything. However, what that does mean is, that's a lot of wire to run, so that could be a significant voltage drop, which is what people are claiming is happening, is that there's a big voltage drop. And so what this kit is supposed to do is eliminate that voltage drop and give you direct power from the battery to the headlight by a series of relays, keeping your standard switch intact so you can still use that switch. So let's go ahead and take a look at the kit now and see what it comes with. Like I said, it was $25 with free shipping, so let's see what happens. Okay, so this is how this kit comes, just in your regular postage box mailer thing. This one's by K Suspension. I'll put a link down below so you can take a look at the kit, and if you want, buy it. And it says it's for a Cherokee, but it's supposed to work for a TJ2 because they have pretty similar wiring systems as far as the headlights go. So let's open it up and take a look. Okay, so here's the wiring harness. We have our relays here, one for each headlight. We have our power wire with our fuse. This is shorter than normal for the TJ. Online they tell you need to extend it already, so you know right up front beforehand. So that's fine. I already have some wire to go ahead and extend that. This is for the passenger side headlight. The harness, this is for the harness. That plugs into your factory harness. And then this is for the headlight itself. And then same for this guy, the headlight itself, and then these guys have their individual grounds. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and extend this. I'm kind of starting to lose my light, but that's perfect. So let's go ahead and get this done real quick and get it installed, and then we'll do some comparisons. It's starting to get cold. Perfect. Okay. That guy looks done. Looks like I got a little rolled over here, but that'll be okay. Nice. Alright. So, there's our extension. I added probably maybe 2 feet, if that, just under. So, it doesn't take very much to extend it. Okay, so here's my connector. This is your headlight down in here. So we're just gonna wiggle this guy loose. There it is. And we're going to plug this guy in its place. You can see they're basically the same connector. This one looks a little bit higher quality, actually. Make sure I'm getting this in right. There we go. And then on the TJs, you have a grounding point right here already, so we're gonna slip that under there. And what's nice about this kit is in case like anything ever happens, if you blow a relay or something, you can just go and plug this harness right back in. You don't have to take your headlights out or anything. So we're just gonna slip this right in there. And for comparison, look at these. So this is the new wiring, and this is the factory wiring. Look at the size difference, just in the grounding wire alone. Alright. right, that guy's all in there. Now let's go do the other side. Okay, so now on the driver's side, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna unplug this guy. Oh, and they are hard on mine because they've never been unplugged. We're gonna plug the new harness back into the factory harness. There we go. And then we're gonna plug the new harness into the headlight. There we go. All right. And then we're going to take our grounding wire. And we're going to run our grounding wire up against this guy. And again, the TJ has this grounding point on this side too, which is nice. So we're just going to use this. But notice how the harness doesn't appear to have a grounding wire except for here, but I don't know if that's for the headlights or not. So it may just have the one grounding point, but regardless, even if it did, now it's got two way beefier ones. So that's a good thing. There we are. All right. Now we have the relay and the fuse, so I'm gonna find a spot for those and then we'll be right back. All right, so I'm really starting to lose my light here, but you can see I run the cable over there. It's doing just fine. I made sure the hood won't pinch or anything. And then I bundle all my wire down in here. Right here we have the relays and the fuses under there. And I'm gonna finish running this. This wiring I'm not too worried about right now. We're gonna do an electrical upgrade. So once we do that, I'll go in here and clean all this up and make it even better than it is. But for now, that'll do pretty good. And then what I did is I just went ahead and connected it to the positive here. Like as you can see, I've got a lot going on this battery here, so a distribution system would be nice and rerouting some of these cables. And I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that. That's probably about next month or so. That's why I'm not too concerned about making these cables perfect right now. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna finish tying some of those loose ends up, and then we'll turn them on and see how they look. Okay, anyway, it is starting to get cold, but it is dark now, so we can go ahead and take a look at what's going on and see if it actually made an improvement. But as you saw, the kit is pretty much plug and play. You don't really have to do much modifying of anything. On the Wrangler, you do need to extend about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet of wire. But other than that, it's just plug in and bolt on, and you don't even have to remove the headlamps, which is even better because now I don't have to re-aim anything. But okay, let's go ahead and we'll turn them on the fence. I'm gonna plug in the factory wiring, and then I'll unplug it and we'll plug in the wiring harness that we just installed, and let's see if we see a difference. And I'm gonna have my camera in completely manual, and nothing is in auto, so we'll see if we see anything different on the camera, and then we'll go for a ride and see if I don't know. I mean, we'll just do a few tests and see what we can see. But let's take a look. All right, so here we are. This is what the light output looks like from the factory harness. There is the low beam, and here is the high beam. Low beam, high beam. Okay, now I'm gonna plug in the factory harness, or the aftermarket harness. Okay, now this is going to be our aftermarket harness. Here we go. Here's on low beam, and here's high beam. That is significantly brighter in my opinion. High beam, low beam. Yeah, that looks way brighter to me. Let's go do a drive and see what happens. Okay, so before we go on a ride here, I want to note something in the image. The first one you're looking at right here on the left hand side is the factory wiring, and on the right hand side is the aftermarket wiring. Now what you'll notice is the left hand side is more dim than the right hand side. They're still about the same color. The right hand side is brighter though, and that's what I would say. This kit so far just makes it brighter. You'll also notice that, like, if you look at the top of the fence, you'll see that the top of the fence is more lit up just because more light is present everywhere. On the second set of the images here, this is even more of a difference in my mind, and it just really highlights it. On the left-hand side, again, is the factory wiring. The right-hand side is the upgraded wiring. This is with the high beams. The last image with the low beams. Now, with that, you can see the left-hand side is far, far dimmer than the right-hand side. And also, the right-hand side has more of the fence lit up in more areas. What you can see, though, is the beam is actually the same. So you don't have to adjust any headlights. You don't have to do anything there. Just the beam that you have is getting full voltage now, so it's much better, which is nice. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, let's go for a drive. So we're sitting here, basically the exit of my driveway. There's lights everywhere. It looks dark on camera, but it's not that dark. I can drive without headlights right now. But what is amazing is that with the harness upgrade, you can see just how much light goes everywhere now. And this is really surprising because beforehand, when there was light anywhere, I could not tell if my headlights were on or off. They just were not bright enough. And now with this, I mean, you can actually see minus the reflectors in the car up there, the car itself is actually illuminated. So this is really good. Alright guys, so we're pulling out here, we're going to make a right-hand turn, and the thing to note is just how the lights are lighting the road up, even with the overhead lighting. You can see lines on the road, we can see signage printed on the road, we can see the grass on the left-hand side, and things on the right-hand side. This is very new for me. I've never been able to see this before with my previous headlights and having overhead lighting like this. So this is really awesome. I think it's a worthwhile upgrade. Anyway guys, so if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you like what's going on the channel, hit subscribe down below. If you have any questions, hit the comments, or any concerns, just hit those comments. I respond to almost every one of them. And thank you as always for watching. Really appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful